Drop loads, they're always suppressed. People say haters gonna hate. I'm just like, bitch, I operate.
We might be crazy, we might be drunk. We're sipping on whiskey, and now here we come. And we're riding dirty. This might be fate. 3 words for your fate. Bitch, I operate. Bitch, I operate. Bitch, I operate.
Hey guys, Tunnel Red 11. I had my power stuff out for another video that I just did. I feel it's probably a good time to go over certain, I call them power kits, for different purposes. I'm doing another one on, I guess you'd consider this one an EDC bag. I think it's a little extreme for an EDC bag, but I'm going to do the one I carry in my duty bag or my everyday carry bag. So this is the more extreme kit in my opinion. So just go over the components, the ideology behind it, why I carry certain things and how I've got them arrayed. Okay, so first off, we'll go over the power usage, what I'm going to be using power for. Most people carry phones nowadays with them, especially smartphones and stuff that people are on multiple times a day. They're going to drain quicker than your flip phone that you may look at once or twice a day for the time or something. But most people are going to have a phone with them. So there's one for battery usage. I have my MH12 Nightcore light. I have a Nightcore headlamp slash, you could remove this, put it on a vest, or just use it as a light source, but it also is good for the headband. I've done a previous video on this, the BioLite Nano Grid with the 2 spotlights. So that's most of the items I carry. Not to say that I wouldn't throw something in if I'm not going if I'm going camping, who knows, I may throw in a Bluetooth speaker or something if we're going out with a bunch of people, or maybe an extra light or something like that. But this is what I keep in my primary bug-out bag, that if I ran out the door is what I'm carrying with me. And that's the same thing with other people. You're always going to have that, those people that, you shouldn't have electronics outdoors, the firm bushcrafters, and then you're going to have the moderate, and then you're going to have the high-end guys that, they carry their cell phone, iPad, all this camera equipment and stuff like that. But, that's all in your opinion. It doesn't really matter. It's what suits you, your comfort level, and if you can, maintain that power and stuff. Okay, so from there, going from power usage, we'll go into the energy provider, creator, however you want to look at it, the output. This isn't the one from my bug out bag. This is the one actually in my duty bag, but I didn't want to dig that one out. It's a Anchor external battery. I think the one I have is the Astro 10,000 in my bug out bag. This is the 26800, very high capacity battery, but basically the same style. It's you've got multiple USB ports, you've got the power indicator, and it's pretty much maybe a shy shorter, but other than that, it's about the same size, same weight, so that's why I just threw this one in here. So that's going to be charged most of the time in my pack. I top it off every once in a while just to make sure everything's good in it. So that's going to be your primary source for the most part. As creating energy, I've got 2 sources. This is my Anchor PowerPort 21 watt solar panel, which works great. I haven't had as much time on this one as I had with my old Anchor solar panel. It was 14 or 15 watt. You've got 2 IQ ports. Great panel for the outdoors, especially backpacking and stuff. This is I love Anchor. So there may be other solar panels out there that people like and stuff, but I've just not ran in any that have really caught my eye like Anchors. So, but some kind of solar panel, folding lightweight solar panel to take with you. And this one's probably up for a lot of controversy from people, but the point I wanted to make with this, and the reason I carry it, basically, this is a thermal charger, I guess you could say. I don't know what the fancy term, thermoelectric charger. I've had this for a long time. It does work. I do have to say it does work. Is the output great? No. It's one of those things. It's high maintenance. You really got to keep up with it, because once this water, because basically you put water in here, and that cooling on the coils from this heat is going to create energy into your USB. So you have to kind of make sure that your water's not boiling, to keep cool water in there to provide more energy. Make sure your heat source is good. But it does work. It leaves a small footprint. It's always gone in my pack. I've actually utilized this with candles inside, like emergency candles and stuff, and it does provide a little bit of energy. Now, looking at the survival aspect of things, when you're in that situation where you can't, you're hurt or something like that, it's in the middle of the night, solar isn't going to do shit for you. Let's say you've been out for 3 or 4 days, this is dead, you have nothing there, which is another charge I'll get into in a minute, but all your batteries are dead, you have nothing. If you can create a fire, get water in it to cool down that coil, it's going to provide enough energy to get some juice in your phone to provide a signal. I have used this for charging, but this is more of the last ditch effort. It's kind of the same thing as a BioLite, but the only reason I don't carry my BioLite in my pack, my Bugout Bag I should say, it goes in an inch bag, but for Bugout Bag purposes, it's too big. It's too big for the purpose it provides. So this is the next option, because it's using the same same form of electric, that thermoelectric exchange, that's going to provide it with power. So it's going to give you enough to get your phone charged, to get a signal out. And I'm not saying it couldn't charge a battery or your power pack or your phone, but it is high maintenance. I will have to say that. I should do a video on this at some point when I get a fire going. Maybe I'll do a video on this, but I always keep it with me because it is very, very low profile, which I'll show you here. It fits right in this, in that, the admin pouch, or, I usually, when I put this in my pack, if I can get it together, there we go. If I put it in my pack, I slide it in right next to my battery bank, and I just slide in whatever pouch I'm putting it in or anything like that. So for the small profile, for the purpose of emergency signal, I think it's worth it. It's not that heavy, so I always keep it with me in my main Bugout Bag. So that's my other. So that's 3 at the moment. These are for producing. That's for capturing or utilizing what's in it. Now this is the last form of charging. Okay, I take that back. Not the last form, because this is also going to come into play here in a second. So this is the Nitecore F1 charger, which I love. I have a review on this. It's basically a battery charger, so I don't even need to take it out. Maybe I need to. But basically, this is going to make sure positive, negative. I don't want to jack something up here. So this is going to indicate how much voltage is in your battery, the level of or percentage of how much is in it, which is great in general. I don't have to have power plugged in just to see how much is in it. So I can take one of my USB cords, plug it in, and top it off with my battery bank, solar panel or, you know, last resort this, but I can use this to charge batteries. Now, what also is good about this, and for the charging purpose, is you can put the USB into this, utilizing the power from these batteries that I use for all my lights, and charge my cell phone in emergency. I don't know why I would charge my battery bank with one of these, but you do have that option. So, and it's small, slim profile, so this is the other charging option. And this one too, this is the MH12. This has a charging port in it. This takes 18650, so technically, if I want to charge as many 18650s as I can, I'm going to take my battery bank or solar panel, whatever. I can plug in my my cables, plug in this with a dead 18650 in it, and then put an 18650 in this, so I can be charging two batteries at the same time. Yeah, you can't use your flashlight at the moment, but I've also got two other forms. So this technically is a battery charger. It probably doesn't have as good of functions as a dedicated charger, but it's going to charge the battery. So in some cases this is technically a charger. So that's one of the reasons why I have a rechargeable flashlight in my kit. Okay, so that's it for liar, pants on fire. You son of a bitch. So, this is the same thing. This light is rechargeable by micro USB, and it's also a battery bank, so you can utilize, I believe, it's in my video, I believe it's like 5,500 milliamps of power that's inside of this. So, you can use this, you can charge this, or you can use it as a battery bank. So, yet again, another charging system. On top of also having your sight lights, your lantern, and a dual beam flashlight. I've done a video on this thing, love this thing. This is the first one I've ever bought, and I still have it, still going strong, love it. So, there you go. So, in that forms, you know, this is, like I said, this is kind of why I go in a circle with this stuff, but it all adds into one thing, you know, for whichever emergency purpose you need it for, or keeping things charged on top of charging other things that you don't need. Like I said, if it's last resort, I'm through all the batteries and stuff, I can take this and just charge my phone for a signal or whatever, or keep this charged up while I'm using my batteries. You know, like I said, I've got redundancies with different things. So from there, I'll go into accessories for everything. I got cables out the ass. When it comes down to my flashlights, my power equipment and stuff, I try and stick with micro USB, and I try and stick with 18650 and CR123s. Okay, that's just to make it easier on myself. If I ever run across something that I really like that's a different style battery, maybe I'll consider changing over. But for right now, when I want to stock up on batteries, on charging cables or something for prepping, just to keep things refreshed and stuff, I know which batteries I'm going to have. Same thing with the lights and stuff. I know I don't have to go, oh, let me dig in my pack and get a AAA for this light, and this one needs a AA, or this one needs an 18650. I know what I have. I know that I've got enough to power, you know, all these items. So that's how I do it. But some people may be different, but that's what works for me. So I carry 4 CR123s, 3 18650s that are not in items. This one I use all the time. This light's always out of my pack, so I keep the battery in it, which is sometimes not good, but as long as I'm utilizing keeping it checked, it should be fine. I keep the bulb, or the battery out of this one because I don't use that as much. I'm mostly utilizing my flashlight, so I do keep that out of there, but then this battery is just going to go right into it. So either way, even if I'm utilizing both those at the same time, I still have 2 extra batteries to run those items. So I've got those in here. This is just the pack for the my F1 charger. It's got another cable in it. It's got some bands to hold the batteries in. So that's pretty much for that. So you got a cable in here. There's a cable in the pouch for this one, and I've got 2 extra cables with this kit. Total redundancy, but in the same hand, you know, if you've got 3 ports with this and you're trying to get a shitload charge at the same time, or these things are freaking dime a dozen. They break all the friggin' time. I don't know how many I've been through with my phones and stuff. So hey, it's redundancy. They don't take up any weight, barely take up any space. So I try and keep my better, like this one's for my BioLite nano grid, but it's Kevlar reinforced. So I try and keep the nicer ones with this kit for the emergency purposes. This is the Nicor. This one came with the MH12. This one I don't think came with a cable. I'm not sure, because I think this one's an anchor plug. Yeah, this is one of my anchor plugs. But the anchor ones I seem to have good luck with. And then one in my next video, they do make Kevlar ones. This is like a 10-footer I bought just for certain purposes, but it's that same thing like that Kevlar reinforced. So I try and put the good cables with my main kits because they're going to be used all the time. So this is my kit. I think it has a lot of redundancies in it and stuff like that. And actually, besides, let's see, the flashlights stay out, this stay out. Everything else just goes in this Max Edition pouch. I just know every time I need, you know, power equipment or something, I just grab this kit and I know it's my energy kit. So all that packs down. So like I said, there's a lot of redundancies in that, but that's kind of my key word is redundancy, because I've been around the block and I've seen things break, I've seen things go down. Can't prepare for everything, but in the same hand, for certain purposes, that's why I'm going to keep extra flashlights, extra batteries. You know, being out in you know, certain weather that you're not going to have any sun for a while, at least I've got an option to put a charge into something so I have a light for the night, you know, or to be able to signal someone. So this isn't the ultimate energy kit, I don't think, but I think this is a good way of looking at it, to, you know, put yourself in certain situations and say, okay, well, what if this goes down? How would I charge this? Okay, I can charge it this way. When I do have sun, what do I charge? I could put it in this pack, and that's kind of how I've formed this kit, because I've used it so much and had situations where things break and stuff like that. So it's in my mind right now, this is my perfect kit. It's always going to change. There's always going to be something new that comes out that I'm going to put in it or replace, or like I said, I use the CR123s and 18650s, but you never know. I could get a new flashlight that I absolutely love, but takes the 2132, I don't know, there's so many different brands, but a different size battery. Well, then I'm going to have to adapt for everything or add those batteries so I can use that flashlight. So it's always going to change, but I think having this this mentality in your kit to realize that things break down, things happen, to get is, you know, for emergencies and to keep your stuff topped off and that, I think it's a pretty good overall kit. So I thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.